My name is Claire Donovan, and I'm 38 years old. 4 hours after my sister texted me a Venmo request for $7,200 with the caption, "Madison's Sweet 16, your share." I sat in my car outside a banquet hall and made one phone. Call that unraveled 14 years of financial manipulation, disguised as family loyalty. I had waited 3 weeks to make that call. I paid for it too, in ways I'll explain. My sister Amanda's reaction came in 37 text messages before she finally called me, screaming loud enough that I had to hold the phone away from my ear. And when the screaming didn't work, she forwarded a voice memo from our mother that was far more dangerous than Amanda's anger. But here's what none of them knew. I had already found the other invoices. Welcome back to Revenge Camera Stories, where the truth gets caught on film and quiet people stop staying quiet. We tell stories about ordinary folks who kept the receipts, set the boundaries, and stopped funding other people's fantasies at the expense of their own futures. Before I tell you what happened next, please hit like and subscribe. Drop your city and local time in the comments below. I love knowing where you're listening from. Now let me take you back 16 years to a community college parking lot when my father said something I didn't understand until I was staring at that Venmo request on my phone. The summer I turned 22, my dad pulled me aside after Amanda's baby shower. Madison had just been born, and the house was full of pink balloons and women. I didn't know cooing over onesies that cost more than my weekly grocery budget. Dad walked me to my car, a 1998 Honda Civic with a taped-up window and 160,000 miles on it. I'd bought it myself with money from my campus bookstore job. "Your sister's going to need help," he said, not looking at me. "She's doing this alone, and you're good with money, Claire. You always have been." I was good with money because I had to be. I was paying my own way through. Community college while living in a studio, apartment that smelled like the Indian, restaurant downstairs. Amanda had gotten the college fund. I'd gotten a job. "I'll help however I can, Dad," I said. He patted my shoulder. "That's my practical girl." Practical. That word. I didn't know then that it wasn't a compliment. It was a job assignment. That whole year, I watched my parents transform into something I didn't recognize. My mother, who'd missed half my high school concerts because she was tired, took a week off work to help Amanda set up the nursery. My father, who'd told me I needed to learn financial responsibility. When I'd asked for help with a $200 textbook, co-signed a lease on a 2-bedroom apartment for Amanda in a complex with a pool. At Thanksgiving, Amanda brought Madison in a carrier that looked like it cost more than my rent. The baby wore a headband with a silk bow. I was wearing jeans I'd had since sophomore year. "Claire," my mother said, pulling me into the kitchen. "Amanda's struggling with formula costs. Could you maybe help out? Just until she gets her feet under her?" I sent her $60. It was every extra dollar I had that month. My mother hugged me. "This is what family does. We show up for each other." I smiled. I believed her. Between 22 and 38, I helped out 42 times. I know the number because I still have the records. Venmo requests, Cash App transfers, checks. I wrote in my mother's kitchen while Amanda stood in the doorway bouncing Madison on her hip, explaining why this month was harder than usual. The pattern was so gradual, I noticed it the way you notice a slow leak. You don't, until your whole basement is flooded. At first it was formula, then daycare deposits, then Madison's first birthday party, just $200. Claire, you know how important first birthdays are. When Madison was 4, Amanda needed help with preschool tuition because the good preschool, the one with the Montessori program, didn't take state assistance. When Madison was 7, it was dental work, not covered by insurance. When Madison was 10, it was the travel soccer team fees. All the girls are doing travel soccer, Claire. Madison can't be the only one left out. Every single time, my mother would call me the day after Amanda asked, "Your sister's doing her best, sweetheart. You know how hard single motherhood is. And you don't have kids. You don't know what it costs." That last sentence, every time, "you don't have kids," as if that meant my money wasn't real. As if I hadn't chosen not to have children yet specifically because I was still paying off the student loans from the degree I'd funded myself. As if my life was just a waiting room for someone else's needs. I tried to set a boundary once. Madison was 12 and Amanda had asked for $850 for a laptop for schoolwork. I'd seen Madison's TikTok account. The laptop wasn't for homework. I said no. My mother showed up at my apartment unannounced the next day. She didn't knock. She had a key I'd given her for emergencies. She let herself in while I was working from home and sat on my couch. "Claire, I'm disappointed." Not angry, disappointed. Worse. Madison needs that laptop for her education. You got opportunities. Why can't you help give her the same? I wanted to say, I bought my own laptop at a pawn shop. I worked 30 hours a week while taking 18 credits. Nobody gave me anything, but I didn't say that. Instead, I said, I'll send Amanda $400. That's what I can afford. My mother smiled. That's my girl. Family shows up. I sent the money that afternoon, and I hated myself for it. Not for helping Madison, for helping Amanda avoid every consequence of her own choices while my mother repackaged my resentment as selfishness. Here's what I want to ask you. Have you ever been told you're selfish for having boundaries with people who've never had boundaries with your wallet? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, because this story is about to turn. On March 3rd of this year, the Venmo request came through at 10:47 a.m. I was in a meeting. My phone was face down on the conference table when it buzzed. I glanced at it during a break. Amanda Donovan requests $1,700. Madison Sweet 16's your share. Your share. I stared at those two words until my boss asked if I was okay. I texted Amanda, your share of what? The reply came in seconds. The party, obviously. Venue, catering, DJ, photographer. It's $21,600 total. You, me, and Mom-Dad are splitting it 3 ways. Mom and Dad already sent theirs. I sat very still in that conference room. My parents had already sent $7,200. Amanda expected me to send the same. That meant my parents, who were both retired on fixed incomes, had just dropped $7,200 on a 16-year-old's birthday party. I called my mother on my lunch break. Oh, honey, yes. Isn't it exciting? The Ashford estate. It's where the mayor's daughter had her Sweet 16. Amanda's been planning this for months. Mom, that's $7,200. Well, she only turned 16 once, Claire. There it was. The password phrase. The sentence that was supposed to dissolve my judgment and open my wallet. Did Amanda ask you for this money or did you offer? A pause. A very specific kind of pause that I'd learned to recognize. We're her family. Of course we're helping. And you should too, you're Madison's aunt. She looks up to you. When's the party? April 12th, 5 weeks away. I'll send you the invitation. It's gorgeous, Claire. Professionally designed. There's a hashtag and everything. I thanked her, I hung up. And I sat in my car and did the math. $7,200 from me. $7,200 from my parents. $7,200 from Amanda. Except Amanda didn't have $7,200. Amanda worked part-time at a boutique and lived in an apartment. My parents helped subsidize. Amanda's contribution wasn't cash, it was audacity, which meant the party actually cost my parents $14,400 and me $7,200. A $21,600 party funded entirely by everyone except the person throwing it. I drove to my storage unit that evening. In a filing box labeled Taxes 2015-2020, I had something I'd kept out of habit, not strategy. Every single receipt, every Venmo payment, every check I'd written, every text message request. I spread them across my apartment floor in chronological order and added them up. 14 years. 42 requests. $43,680. $43,680. I had funded Amanda's life to the tune of a new car, and she was asking for another down payment, wrapped in tulle and a hashtag. The invitation arrived 3 days later. Heavy cardstock, blush pink with rose gold foil lettering. You're invited to celebrate Madison's Sweet 16, the Ashford estate. April 12th, 7 p.m. Black tie optional. Madison's turned 16. At the bottom, in smaller script, no gifts, please. Your presence is our present. I laughed out loud in my kitchen. No gifts, just $7,200 in cash. I texted Amanda. Can we talk about the budget? What about it? It's a lot of money. It's her Sweet 16, Claire. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. What did you do for my Sweet 16? I knew the answer. I was there, but I wanted her to say it. She didn't reply for 6 hours. When she finally did, that was different. You didn't want a big party. I hadn't wanted a big party because nobody had offered me one. I'd wanted a big party the way every 16-year-old girl wants to matter. To be celebrated, to be seen. But nobody asked, so I'd learned to say I didn't care. I went to my closet and found the photo. My 16th birthday. Me, one store-bought cake, my parents, and Amanda, who was on her phone in the background. The photo was taken by the automatic timer on our old digital camera because nobody thought to take one otherwise. That photo. That was my signature object. I set it on my counter next to the $21,600 invitation and took a picture of both. Then I called someone I should have called years ago. Her name is Vanessa Park. She's a financial therapist. I'd met at a work seminar 2 years earlier. We'd stayed in touch. And she'd told me once, casually, "If you ever want to talk about family and money, I do that for a living." I called her on a Tuesday evening. "Vanessa, I need help setting a boundary I should have set 14 years ago." I told her everything. The Venmo request, the history, the $43,000, my mother's voice memos, the phrase family shows up. Vanessa was quiet for a long moment. "Claire, listen to me carefully. What you're describing isn't family generosity. It's financial enmeshment, and the reason it works is because they've conditioned you to believe that your money isn't yours, it's the family's, but only when they need it. How do I stop it without losing them?" "You might lose them anyway," she said gently. "People who are used to access don't handle boundaries well. But here's the thing. If saying no cost you the relationship was the cost of saying yes." She walked me through a script. Not angry, not defensive, just clear. And then she said something that changed everything. "Before you send that message, I want you to do something. Call the venue, verify the costs. Because in my experience, when someone's asking for this much money this urgently, the story's usually bigger than they're telling you." I called the Ashford estate the next morning. "Hi, I'm calling about a booking for April 12th under Amanda Donovan." The event coordinator pulled it up. "Yes, the Sweet 16. Beautiful event. Is this the mother of the birthday girl?" "I'm the aunt. I'm helping with payment, and I wanted to confirm the total balance." "Of course, let me pull that up." "Okay, so the total contract is $8,400, and we've received the $2,000 deposit. The remaining balance of $6,400 is due 2 weeks before the event." My stomach dropped. "I'm sorry, can you repeat the total?" $8,400 total. That includes the venue, catering for 75 guests, and the standard DJ package, not $21,600. $8,400. I asked her to email me a copy of the invoice. She did within 5 minutes. I sat in my car in the grocery store parking lot, staring at the itemized breakdown. Venue, $2,200. Catering, 75 guests. $4,800. DJ, $2,400. Total, $8,400. Paid, $2,000. Balance due, $6,400. Amanda had told us the party cost, $21,600. She'd told my parents and me to each send $7,200, a total of $21,600 from the three of us. The actual party cost $8,400, and she'd already paid $2,000, which meant Amanda was collecting $21,600 for a party that cost $6,400. That left $15,200 unaccounted for. $15,200 that had nothing to do with Madison's birthday. I forwarded the invoice to my own email. I took screenshots. I saved everything. And then I made the call. At 11:04 a.m. on March 18th, I called my parents, both of them on speaker. "Mom, Dad, I need you to look at something. I'm sending you an email right now." I sent the venue invoice. "What is this?" my father asked. "That's the actual invoice for Madison's Suite 16. From the venue, the real cost is $8,400, it's not $21,600. Silence. Amanda told us it was $21,000. My mother said slowly. "She told all of us that, and she asked each of us for $7,200, but the party costs $8,400. She's already paid $2,000. That means she only needs $6,400 more to pay the venue." My father's voice tight. "So where's the other $15,000 going?" "I don't know, Dad, but I'm not sending her $7,200 to find out." My mother made a sound I'd never heard before, halfway between a gasp and a sob. "She lied to us." "Yes, Claire," my father said, and his voice sounded 20 years older. Have we asked you for money before?" "You haven't. Amanda has. 42 times in 14 years. I added it up. It's $43,680. The line went completely silent. Then my mother whispered, "We didn't know." "I know you didn't. But I need you to know now. Because I'm not doing this anymore. I love Madison. I'll take her to dinner. I'll get her a real gift. But I'm not wiring Amanda. $7,200 for a party that costs a third of that." My father cleared his throat. "We already sent our money." "I know, I'm sorry. Can we get it back?" "You can ask. But Dad, Mom, this isn't about the money. This is about what happens next. What happened next came in stages. And I'm going to give, you the real timeline because this is how it actually works when you set a boundary with someone who's been using you as an ATM. March 18th, 12:30 p.m. My mother calls Amanda. I'm not on the call, but my mother tells me later that Amanda cried. said the invoice was wrong, said there were other expenses not included, and hung up. March 18th, 2:15 p.m. Amanda texts me. I can't believe you went behind my back to the venue. You humiliated me. I don't respond. March 18th, 6:40 p.m. Amanda sends a voice memo. She's crying. Claire, I don't know what you think you found, but you're ruining Madison's birthday. She's going to remember that her aunt destroyed everything. Is that what you want? March 19th, 9 a.m. My mother forwards me a text thread between her and Amanda.
In it, Amanda admits there were some additional costs
she was handling separately, and she's sorry for the confusion. She doesn't say what the costs are. She doesn't return anyone's money. March 20th. My father calls the venue directly, asks if the $7,200 he sent to Amanda has been applied to the balance. It hasn't. The venue has only received the original $2,000 deposit. Nothing since. March 21st. My parents ask Amanda, in writing via email, to either apply their $7,200 to the venue or return it. Amanda replies, I already spent it. I'll pay you back after tax season. She'd spent $4,400 in 18 days. March 23rd, I get a call from Madison. Not Amanda, Madison. Aunt Claire? Her voice is small, 16 but younger, and I can hear that she's been crying. Hey Maddie, you okay? Mom says you're trying to cancel my party. My chest tightens. I'm not, sweetheart. I promise. Then why won't you help pay for it? I close my eyes. This is the moment. I can lie to protect her, or I can tell her a truth that might hurt now, but help later. Maddie, can I ask you something? How much do you think your party costs? I don't know. Mom said it's really expensive, like a lot. The venue costs $8,400. That's what your mom signed a contract for. It's a beautiful venue, and it's going to be a great party. Oh, a pause. Mom said it was like, way more. I know. She told me and your grandparents it was $21,600, but it's not. Silence. Long enough that I think she's hung up. Then, why would she lie? I don't know, honey, but I need you to know something. I love you. I've always helped your mom because I love you, but I can't keep giving money when I don't know where it's going. Do you understand? Yeah. Her voice is so quiet. Aunt Claire? Yeah? My real birthday is next week. Could you maybe just take me to dinner? Just us? My throat burns. I would love that. If someone you loved ever made, you choose between helping them and being honest with yourself. I want to hear about it. Tell me in the comments. Now let me tell you what happened the week of the party. April 12th arrived. The party happened. I know because I saw the photos on Instagram. Madison's turn 16 trended locally for about 6 hours. The Ashford estate looked beautiful. Madison wore a rose gold dress. 75 people attended. The DJ played. The catering was elegant. Everything looked perfect. I wasn't there. Amanda uninvited me via text on April 3rd. Since you don't support Madison, don't bother coming. I didn't fight it. But I did take Madison to dinner the week before. Just the two of us. At the Italian place she'd loved since she was 8. I gave her a gift I'd been saving. A necklace that had been my grandmother's. Small, gold, with a single pearl. Worth maybe $200 in sentiment, $60 in resale. Your great-grandma gave this to me on my 16th birthday, I told her. She told me, real value isn't what people spend on you. It's what they see in you. Madison put it on immediately. She wore it in every Instagram photo from the party. Not the rose gold dress. Not the hashtag. That necklace. 2 weeks after the party, my mother called. Claire, I need to tell you something. She sounded tired, older. Amanda's being evicted. The landlord filed papers. She's 3 months behind on rent. I closed my eyes. Mom! She spent the party money on rent. And it still wasn't enough. There it was. $15,200? Gone into a hole Amanda had been digging for months. Maybe years. What are you going to do? I asked. Your father and I talked. We're going to help her find a smaller place. But we're not paying her rent anymore. We can't. We're retiring, Claire. We don't have it. I'm proud of you, Mom. She laughed, but it came out like a sob. Are you? Yes. I'm sorry, she whispered. For all the times I made you feel like you had to. You didn't. You were just easier. Amanda would scream and cry, and you'd just quietly send the money. I let that happen because it was easier for me too. I didn't absolve her. I didn't say it's okay, because it wasn't. But I said thank you for saying that. Amanda and I didn't speak for 4 months. When we finally did, it was brief, stiff, and centered entirely around Madison's college plans. Amanda needed help with FAFSA paperwork. I helped her fill it out over email. We were polite, distant. We're still distant. Madison and I are not. She texts me once a week, sends me TikToks, asked me to help her study for her driver's permit test. She doesn't mention the party. Neither do I. Last month she asked me, "Aunt Claire, how did you pay for college?" I told her the truth. Loans, jobs, scholarships I applied for myself. "Could you help me do that?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "I can teach you how to do it yourself. And I'll be right there the whole time." That's the inheritance I'm giving her. Not money, tools. I still have the photo, my 16th birthday, the camera timer, my sister on her phone in the background. I keep it in my wallet now, behind my credit card. A reminder, not of what I didn't get, of what I stopped giving away. Because here's the truth. I learned at 38 that I wish I'd known at 22. Helping people who refuse to help themselves isn't kindness. It's collusion. And family shows up should never mean family gets emptied out.